Hello, everybody. Good to see you again. Thanks for showing up. Wishing you a bright and wonderful new year. And on that same note, we're going to look how to step into a new story, not just for the new year, but for any point in your life where you'd like to upgrade your experience. I was coaching a woman the other day who had been divorced for quite a while, like 10 years, and she was wanting to get into a new relationship. She'd had a couple of dates, but they didn't go anywhere. And she was afraid that she would replicate her relationship with her father, which was abusive, and the same with her husband, who matched her father. And I said, would you be willing to re-examine your belief that men are abusive, or that you have to attract an abusive man? Well, okay. So would you give me your new story? What story would you like to enact rather than the old one? Okay, well, I'd like to meet somebody who is a good match for me, somebody who has some spiritual values, and somebody who respects me, and somebody who's available. Okay, that sounds good. Would you be willing to make that your new story, meditate on that, visualize on that, feel on it, be in it, think about it, and kind of let that marinate in your consciousness instead of continually rehashing the old story of what doesn't work? She said, okay, I can do that. So we came up with a couple of affirmations. I am enough. I deserve a good man. Some good men are available. I can create a relationship that works for me and my partner. I am guided to the right people for the right purpose. Got an email from her this morning saying that she had gone online and joined a dating service, and she was having coffee with somebody today. That was a big step. She said the affirmations worked. And they do. And I don't know where that relationship will go, but it really was a big step for her to put herself back into the dating pool and also hold a bigger vision of what could be instead of what was. This is the task before all of us. We all hold some kind of limiting beliefs about how we are, how life is, how the opposite sex is, how the world works. And those are not true. They reinforce themselves because we believe them, but they have no reality other than our investment in them. And so we have to understand that all belief systems are self-reinforcing, that you can always find evidence that what you believe is the way it is. However, there are many other realities that could be the way they are if you're willing to believe in them and reinforce them. You understand, Jesus said that in my Father's house there are many mansions, a very mystical statement. What he meant was there are many, many different realities that exist simultaneously, and you and I each get to live in the reality that matches the beliefs. Now, the thing about belief systems is that you can always get somebody to agree with yours, for better or for worse. And so it's very important that you don't hang out with people or don't have conversations that reinforce negation. That's extremely dangerous. I was in a grocery store once and I heard these two women talking, and I think they were both house sitters. And they were both complaining about how their owners were. Oh, she doesn't let me do this, and she's a pain in the butt, and that. And as I listened, they were just kind of digging a deeper and deeper hole, going into agreement about what's wrong. And I wanted to kind of shake them. I didn't, not my business, but I said, do you guys realize what you're doing? You're kind of spinning the vortex of what's not working. I said, I wanted to say you could just as well spin the vortex of what is working or could work, or how great your jobs could be. And so Course in Miracles says that there's no such thing as the world the way it is. It actually says the entire Course is aimed at you understanding that there is no world. I say, well, of course there's a world. Look at the paper and look at the online news and look at what people are talking about. Well, those are all agreements that people go into about what the world is. if you went to a foreign country or a foreign culture, you would probably find a whole different agreement about what the world is. So we have to give up our idea about the way the world is with all caps, because there's no way that the world is. There's a way the world believes it is, we believe it is, and the way the world reacts to our beliefs. James Allen said, "We think in secret, and it comes to pass." Environment is our looking glass, which means that everything you see is nothing more or less than a reflection of what's happening here. So you can try to manipulate and change all kinds of people and stuff out there. If you want to get into the dating world, you get all dressed up and get makeup and do that's all fine, all part of it, that's okay. But unless you change your beliefs, new people are going to come in and match the old beliefs, or new people who might match the new beliefs are going to spin off, and you're left with the old ones. So this is where the work is. Before you date this. Go within and talk about how you'd like the date to go, and what your ideal relationship is, and how you want to feel with somebody, and the ideal kind of person you'd like to be with, and spin those vortices. And I promise you that sooner or later, somehow in some way, people are going to show up that match the new vortex you are spinning. Now, I did a relationship workshop, and actually it was a general workshop, I should say, and part of it was relationships. And I asked people to go around the room and say, what is the old story that you're stuck in, and what is the new story you'd like to replace it with? It was one of the most powerful exercises I've ever done in any workshop. So people would say, well, my old story is that I always have just enough money to pay my bills, but none for fun. The new story I'd like to step into is that I have enough money to have fun. I can take vacations and buy clothes and take my friends to dinner and contribute to charity. And I said, which one feels better? Oh, the new story feels so much better. My old story is that I go just so far in relationships, and then he or she leaves, or I leave. My new story is I can create a relationship that sticks, that works. My old story is that I'm a victim of external diseases, or the government, or my parents' religion, or pressure from my parents to live the life they would like me to live. My new story is that I'm an independent, sovereign creator, and I'm not subject to the diseases that other people get. I am not subject to the rules of my parents' religion. I do not have to be limited by what culture says I'm supposed to be. From this moment on, my new story is I live as I am instead of as I lived or as I'm expected to live. Which story feels better? Oh, the new one feels a lot better. So would you take a few moments now or after this recording to really be honest, to sit down and have a heart-to-heart talk with yourself and say, okay, what am I believing that is holding me back? And I'll give you a hint. You can always tell what you believe by what you're getting. It's impossible to get something other than what you believe, because this is a big old projection. The world is nothing more or less than a blank slate upon which you see your thoughts and experience the results of those thoughts. Course in Miracles says that illusions are as strong in their effects as the truth. Not because illusions are true, but because the belief we invest in illusions is powerful enough to create a result. Get it? So this is where this is the playing field where transformation occurs. That's the result of where transformation occurs, but this is where transformation really occurs. So as we set out on this new year, or whatever time of the year you're watching this, you're setting out on something new, a new job, a new relationship, a new move, a new health regime. It's so important to set yourself up beforehand. So I want to do an exercise meditation with you that will allow you to establish a keynote for what's next for you. So if you're in an appropriate place, not driving, but take a breath, get comfortable, close your eyes. And first of all, think about the old story that hasn't been working so well for you. A relationship, a physical situation, a living situation, finances, your job. And be honest. I must be continuing some story that I really do not wish to continue, because if it's causing me pain or limits, I don't want it. You have to be really honest with yourself. Okay, now, what is the new story I would like to replace it with? How would I like this to turn out? How good could it get? Now your mind may come up with blah, 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 but. Just let that mind be suspended for just a few minutes now. I want you to dive wholeheartedly into your new story. I can have a great relationship. My body feels really good, and I'm active and expressive and creative with my body. Wow, I'm in a job that allows me to express my creativity and my ideas and myself fully, and pays me well. I am with a partner that I love and who loves me. Or even if you're already with a partner, I can upgrade my relationship. So this partnership goes to a whole new level of reward and intimacy and expression. Wow, how good is that? That's my new story. That's my new story. And I'd like you now to please pick one word or short phrase that describes the experience you would like to have, the keynote for this job, this relationship, this living situation, this health situation. What is your keynote? Or for the year, if you're doing this beginning of the year. So my keynote is ease and flow. My keynote is deep connection. My keynote is my life matches my spiritual values. So take a moment to think about what your keynote is, a word, a short phrase. And now let that keynote, the energy, there's a feeling, an experience associated with that keynote, let it sink into you like a sponge absorbs water. Let the vibration of ease and flow become a part of you at a cellular level. Let the feeling of deep relationship, reward, and connection, oh, that feels so good. I can just take a bath in that. I love how that makes me feel. It makes me excited about relationship. Wow. I love feeling good health in my body. I love feeling my body strong and alive and vital and active and flexible and doing all the things I want it to do. Oh, wow, that feels good. And now I'd like you to play out a little movie in your mind. Visualize being with that person, enjoying that person. Oh, I like this movie. See yourself playing tennis or skiing or swimming or whatever you want to do with your body that feels so good. See yourself taking your friends out to dinner. See yourself wearing that garment that you've been thinking about. Oh boy, this is fun. I like this. So get into the vibration. Become a vibrational match to the frequency you wish to live in. And keep doing this for now and practicing afterwards until it feels real. Like, oh, I like that keynote. This is the vortex I want to live in. This is the vibration I want to be my own. I am now stepping into my new story, claiming it, owning it, expressing it, and living it. And in just a moment, we'll complete this exercise. If you would like to continue with it, just put the video on pause and just carry on. You can't do too much of this. You can't feel good too much. Otherwise, just take a couple breaths. Ground yourself. Feel your body on your chair or bed, your feet on the floor, wherever you are. And as you take your next breath, open your eyes. Be present here. And you have now masterfully accomplished stepping into your new story. What a wonderful thing we've just done. Thanks for showing up. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you again soon. Much love.